Episode 10. We're finally in double digits. Feels like we should be way higher than 10, but this is episode 10 of the Poverty Franchise podcast. The DeAndre Hopkins episode, the Mac Jones episode, and the Toronto Raptors DeMar DeRozan episode. I'm Khalil.
And I'm Ethan.
And we got a good amount to talk about today. Not a bunch of different topics, but the topics we do have on tap, we have a bit to say because a lot has happened since the last episode. Of course, well, one thing I should bring up, this episode is being recorded on a Thursday. It's supposed to come out on Wednesdays and Saturdays, but, personal things come up, Luckily, this time, instead of just canceling the episode, we were able to reschedule, and I think that's something we should probably try and do more often if we are going to not be able to record on Saturday or a Wednesday. Just reschedule instead of missing out. But we still should be good on Saturday, and we still should be good Wednesday, Saturday going forward, because I think the next
School's finishing up.
Yeah. Saturday is our last episode where we'll be juniors.
Yeah.
Because on Tuesday's your last day of school, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Wednesday we're officially seniors. So
it's wild.
Crazy. Life's wild. But episode 10 of the Poverty Franchise podcast. Main thing we had on tap today was just the finals, because our last episode was after game 1. And since then we've had two games, 2 pretty good games, one very good one, and then another that was pretty decent for the first half, and then not so interesting in the second half.
It just took off.
But yeah, I think we should start there. Of course, we should probably start at game 2 though, because we want to go in chronological order. But yeah, I know you said you weren't able to watch the second half of game 2, but from the first half, what were your impressions?
Basically,
and I could pull up the score.
Okay. It was on June 5th, correct?
Yes, correct. Game 2 is June 5th.
Okay.
88 Celtics, 107 Warriors.
Okay, so I took some notes on it. Mm-hmm. And there were a lot of fouls against the Celtics in the first half, specifically the first quarter.
Officiating has been a topic for discussion for the last couple of games.
Yeah. It's been kind of, I don't want to say biased, but it's definitely been lenient toward one side each game.
Yeah, and it hasn't been the same side each game. It's been lenient towards it's different side each
one
game.
Or the other. Yeah. And then Derek White is just a defensive god, I guess. He got 2 back-to-back blocks. What? And then Tatum had a rough start in the beginning. He eventually picked up, scored.
Right.
He had 21 at half, though.
And then he had 28
in the
total.
First quarter. Yeah, in the 28 total. And it was just the first quarter. He had a very rocky start. He takes that damn post fade from the top of the
free throw line.
Yeah, that free throw line
I hate that
thing.
Shot.
He takes that shot.
He needs to stop
10 times a game.
I know he can make it, but he takes some overly difficult shots at times, and I don't like it at all.
He has a matchup against Curry, and he settles for that. What?
Right, he does it all the time. That's probably my biggest gripe with him, and I think this is my opinion. You tell me if you feel the same, but I still think this game wasn't a good Jason Tatum game.
Yeah.
He had the worst plus minus of his career, first off. But for someone who's just looking at the stats, he had 28 points on a little under 50% shooting, on 66% from the 3-point line, made 6 threes, made 6 free throws, had 6 rebounds, and he had 3 assists. He had 4 turnovers, though, so more turnovers than assists, which isn't great. But he didn't play good this game. And then, of course, he didn't play good game 1 either. So, luckily in game 3, which we'll get to, he finally had what I would consider a good game.
Picked up, yeah.
But this wasn't a good game for him.
No one else really had a good game.
Yeah, no one else played good. Jaylen Brown didn't play good. He started off hot, and then he completely cooled off. Marcus Smart didn't bring it offensively. Robert Williams is still not 100%, so he didn't get a bunch of PT.
2 of their starters had 2 points. 3 of their starters, my fault.
Yeah.
Al Horford, Rob Will, and Marcus Smart.
Al Horford was and usually Al Horford is someone who doesn't necessarily he doesn't pop off the screen, but he still is he makes impactful plays, his screen setting or his passing. He just didn't do anything this game. for the Celtics side, this is a very forgettable game for a lot of people. I don't remember a
Yeah.
lot of what anyone who's not Jason Tatum did this game, and even then, the things I remember from Jason Tatum aren't particularly good.
Okay, they shot 37% from the field as a team.
Yeah,
That's pretty
not
inefficient. And then 40 from
great.
three. It's not
40 is
reliant at all.
yeah. I'm going back to my notes, things I was writing during the game.
Mhm.
I wrote Derek White's defense, which is something you pointed
Yeah,
out. He
Derek
was
White's
very good
defense.
on defense for a good
Yeah.
amount of possessions. Just offensively, he's not really. I mean, I
Mhm.
know he played good in game one, but that's not really who Derek White is. Tatum's turnovers. He had 4 turnovers, which I thought
Oh
he had
yeah.
more, but his turnovers were really just like dumb, and they just stood out to me because of the way they happen. Like
Mhm.
he had a couple plays where he would drive to the basket, but he would have the ball out too far in front of him, and it would get like snatched.
Mhm.
There was a couple times where he was trying to make passes that he didn't need to make because he was like he dribbled too much time out of the shot clock, didn't get a shot, and he just had to make a pass
He overcomplicates things too much.
way too often. Way
Yeah.
too often.
Clay didn't have a three until like halftime.
Clay played bad. Like for the first 2 games, Clay also
Yeah.
played bad. So for the first 2 games, Tatum didn't play good and Clay didn't play good. Clay in this game was awful. This is one of the worst Clay Thompson
Mhm.
games I think I've ever seen in my life. And I've
Yeah.
seen Clay go off. Where did Game 6 Clay come from? Against the Thunder, right? Like I know about this man Clay. He just was not there tonight. Clay again, like how you were saying with Tatum and the little post fade mid range. Clay
Mhm.
needs to stop taking mid range jumpers. I don't know why he keeps
Yeah.
doing it, but he loves shooting middies for some reason now, and I don't really like him taking those shots
I
personally.
think it was game. Yeah, I think it was game 2 where Draymond got chippy with Jalen.
Yeah,
Like
okay,
he
we
landed on him.
we can get to
Yeah.
Draymond because I have that in my notes too.
Mhm.
Um, Draymond this game was wild, and it's been the last couple games. But
Yeah.
Draymond this game was wild, and Draymond Green is someone who when I was first getting into basketball, I just really didn't like because we both got the baseball gear on.
Oh
That's
yeah.
wild. um, Draymond, when I first got into basketball, was someone who I just didn't like because I was like, this guy is dirty. He's not even good. But as I got more mature, I understand that he's good at what he does and he plays a specific role. But this
Yeah.
game specifically, he was not good at his role. He didn't play good. Draymond had I mean, for Draymond numbers, these are solid. 9 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds. But as far as like the little stupid moments, the putting your feet on Jalen Brown and then, you
He tried to
know,
pull his shorts down. Like what?
right. And then he had the
Like
play where he
nah.
tackled what's his name? One of the Williams, not Robert
Grant.
Williams, Grant Williams, yeah. Grant Williams on like I don't even know what happened. Grant Williams was just standing there and Draymond tackled him. Like I wish I could say
Nah.
I'm
Okay,
exaggerating, but that's how it played out.
bro. Because like, oh my god, the Warriors screens are just insane.
They're
Like
not even good
they feel so
screens.
illegal.
They are
Like how
illegal.
are they not illegal screens,
There,
bro?
there was a play where Curry was going to take a three, and I think this might be a play you're thinking of, where Draymond's just standing in front of someone, and he's just pushing them forward.
Yes.
And it's not even a screen;
Yes,
he's
bro.
just getting in the way. Which I mean,
Yeah.
hey, if they're not going to call it, keep doing it, but that's illegal. You can't do that. He was
Nah,
in his Evan Neal stance. Like you're not supposed to do that, bro.
because there was another clip where like Draymond just checks someone.
This is
He
an old
checks the
clip,
second
huh?
person. Bro's lead blocking.
Yeah. There's another play where he
Like,
like screens someone, but he's like low and someone like flips over him and then he gets up and screens another guy. It's a wild. Draymond Green is an insane screen setter, bro. Oh my god. Draymond is funny. I'm sorry, but like
yeah,
Draymond is a funny just guy in general. The way he plays, the way he handles himself off the court. Just a funny dude.
he's so
Just
good at
just
what he
you
does.
know who Draymond Green plays like? You know those kids who play basketball, but they're like the kids who play too rough, so you got to tell them to like chill out. That's
Nah,
how
it's the football
Draymond
players
plays.
who just play basketball.
Right, Draymond plays like a
Yeah,
football player who plays basketball. Draymond played football, I'm pretty sure. Draymond Green
yeah,
played
he
at
played
Michigan
football at
State.
Michigan State.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I mean, maybe he needs to go back
I
on the
can see where
field.
it comes from.
Maybe he
He just
needs to get back on the gridiron.
misses the contact.
Yeah, Draymond Green that game was
Dude,
wild. He had the
Niners signed
tech.
this guy for a 10-day.
uh, he got a tech. I don't remember how he got the tech, but he got a tech. Uh, Dang, I don't remember the specific way he
Draymond
got the tech.
talks a lot to the refs.
He does. He does talk a lot to the refs,
Yeah,
and he be kind of talking in a
like
little bit
yelling
of
at
a
them,
like
like in
y'all
an
gonna
aggressive manner.
y'all gonna let this slide? Like
Yeah.
if any other
No,
player
because
who
if it
wasn't
was anyone else, it's a tech.
right, it's like
Like
Draymond has
immediately.
the what's the word? The reputation of someone who's gonna get angry. So it's just like when he does, it's like, oh, that's Draymond. But like,
Hmm.
imagine if Kawhi would
Yeah.
have started yelling at the ref, he would have gotten ejected. There would have been no way they would have let him stay in the game. Okay. But yeah, we're gonna get more Draymond content from Game 3 too, because
Hmm.
he didn't let up
Yeah.
in the next game. But let's finish up with this. I'm trying to look at the rest of my notes.
That's all
So
that I got down.
I got some more stuff because I was actually able to watch the rest of the game. I didn't like the Celtics shot selection. I can't
Oh
really
yeah.
say too much on it. Really, Tatum's shot selection and Brown's shot selection I didn't like. Clay, where you at, bro? I mean, he played good yesterday, so give him his flowers now. But at the time, I was like, Clay, you've been awful this whole series.
Hmm.
Celtics were just sloppy in general. The Warriors' offensive rebounding was very, very impressive to me. I don't know if that's actually true when you look at the stats.
Rebounding numbers were 42 to 43.
The Warriors had 6 offensive
Celtics had 43.
rebounds. Oh, it was the exact same. Okay, I guess the Warriors' offensive rebounds just stood out to me more, but
They're
Wiggins
probably
had 3.
more rewarding.
Right, they probably scored off of them. But
Yeah.
Wiggins had 3 offensive rebounds. He's been very good at getting on the glass. He's done it in every game of the series where he'll like
Hmm.
miss something, then he'll go back up, miss it again, then go back up again and get it. So credit to him for his hustle. But overall, he hasn't played amazing. And even in game 2, he didn't play amazing, I wouldn't say.
Hmm.
But in general, good game by the Warriors, bad game by the Celtics. Oh, was this a game where what's his name? Jordan Poole hit that half court shot.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that was wild. That was very, very wild. 17 points for Jordan Poole. So he actually played good this game,
Hmm.
mostly in the third and fourth, but played good. 17 points off the bench for him. Gary Payton came back. Credit to him. He played pretty solid on defense. Bielitsa was pretty good.
Nah, there was a chase down block, I think, that Jalen, or was this game 3? There
Chase
was like a
down block
chase down attempt or something.
by
And then
Jalen
like
Brown where they called a
by
foul on it.
Jalen. Yeah.
Okay,
I think
yeah,
that
I
was
know
game
what you're
3.
talking about. That was game 3. But
Okay.
this game, yeah, there were some weird calls this game. One that still is in my head because a lot of this is because the game was a while ago. Because this is in
Hmm.
Golden State, so this is a minute ago.
It's on
But
Sunday.
this is 4 days ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
the play where Gary Payton went up for a layup and Jalen Brown was behind him and like touched him and got a
He didn't
foul.
even
He
touch
didn't
him.
do anything really. Like
Like
Jalen Brown
bro's hands
jumped.
were by his waist,
He was getting
and
ready to
then
jump, but then
yeah,
he like bailed on it because he was like, no reason to jump. It's just gonna be a foul. But they still gave him a
yeah,
foul anyway. So that was kind of a dumb
makes
call.
no sense.
Draymond really should have fouled out of this one too. I'm not gonna lie, because there's a clip that keeps going around of Draymond like boxing out Tatum on a free throw, and
Oh,
he
on a
like
free,
he,
nah,
he
he
like
like
throws him
throws
like
him. Yeah, he pretty much has him in like a chokehold. Like what?
right. And then just for what, bro? Like chill, Draymond, chill, Draymond,
Yeah, like
relax,
it's
bro.
just a free throw. It's not that deep.
It's not. It's like the second quarter. Y'all are up. Why are you
Yeah.
hustling so much? Chill, bro. Draymond, and this is something that I did notice, but I was watching a video by Rusty Buckets. On in game 1, the Warrior or the Celtic strategy of stopping Draymond was actually guarding him because a lot of the
Hmm.
time Draymond is able to see the court well because no one's on him.
Hmm.
In game 2, and when I went back and watched it, uh, in game 2, instead of Draymond like still trying to play the way he does when no one's guarding him, he actually tried to drive to the basket on a
Hmm.
slower footed like Al Horford, and I was able to get him some points. So 9 points for Draymond is as good as you really gonna get.
Their whole starting unit at least almost had double digits except for
Yeah, other
Draymond. He
than
had 9.
Draymond, 9, he was
If you
close.
want to include Jordan Poole, then cool, go ahead and include him.
Yeah, but overall,
But
the main people who were supposed to score scored the ball, except for Clay.
yeah,
Clay
except
should have
for
had more
Clay.
than 11, and
He
yeah,
went 4 for 19.
yeah, and 1 for 8 from 3. He made 1 3, and that was it.
Oh
He
my
was not
God.
good. luckily, like if Clay and say Jordan Poole didn't play as well as he did, they would have lost this game. It would be a 3-0
Yeah,
series right now.
because like as I mentioned this in the beginning of the series, Jordan Poole is going to be that guy.
Right.
But by the looks of it now, it's actually either Otto Porter Jr. or Kevon Looney.
It has really been those two guys. Otto Porter Jr. needs to get more minutes, in my opinion. I think he
Yeah,
really needs to get more,
he's the
more minutes.
torch, bruh.
Right.
Like
he hits his
he's
threes and he's bigger. Like he can actually
mhm.
get the rebounds if you need him to. He's just more, he has more size, which will match up better against the Celtics. He
Like I
definitely
get
needs
it.
to be on the court.
Kevon Looney's more of a defensive and rim
Mhm.
protector, but Otto Porter's not bad at it.
You're right. He's big enough to hold his own in the paint.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not going to get a bunch of blocks, but he'll play solid enough paint defense. I just don't know, like, Kevon Looney and Draymond on the court at the same time is something that I'm not too much of a fan of. I think
hmm
maybe you take Kevon Looney out of the starting lineup and like you start Jordan Poole, start off with the death lineup, but still play Kevon Looney like starter level minutes because I think he
hmm
needs to be getting more than 20 minutes a game. And especially in game 3, we saw how the athleticism and the size of the Celtics really tore the Warriors apart. They
hmm
needed Kevon Looney to play more than he did.
Yeah.
But overall, that's all I really have to say about
That's all I have for game 2.
game 2. Yeah. So after game 2, we're sitting at a 1-1 series, make our way to Boston, right? Which this game took place yesterday. So kind of fortunate we did cancel the episode because I
Yeah.
at least got to
We
watch
actually got.
the whole game.
I watched the whole thing. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we both were able to watch the whole game. Where do I even start? Where do I start?
Okay.
Let's
So
start
I get.
Boston.
You want me
Let's
to
start
start?
Boston. Yeah, you can
Okay.
start.
Boston. Okay. Again, that post fade. I hate it.
Stop taking it,
He
please.
took that shot like 10 times.
Right, and it was in like the
But
third and the fourth.
yeah, Jalen was cooking. Marcus Smart was cooking. That whole team was just doing
They
great,
were
better
on
than game
fire.
2 for sure.
Right.
Yeah, and then Derek White, he had a good game. Like
Yeah.
his stats don't show it. I like to say that a lot. Oh my god, but he had a good game.
He played solid. Yeah.
And then that lob from Al Horford to
Robert Williams was wild.
Nice.
No, you know what play would have really been wild? If that Jason Tatum to Jaylen Brown lob would have sunk, that would have been crazy.
Oh yeah.
That would have been crazy. Oh my god. I really wanted that lob to sink. I think this was Tatum's first good game, really, this whole series. And even then, his efficiency doesn't look too great, but this was probably his first good game.
This low key a hot take. This is his first game where he outperformed Andrew Wiggins.
That's a fair statement. I mean, like, even in the first game where they won, he didn't outperform Andrew Wiggins because they just won the game and not because he played well. Last game, he definitely didn't outperform Andrew Wiggins. And then this game, yeah, honestly, this is the first game. Honestly, at the moment, and we'll give like an actual top 5 who we have for like finals MVP. But Jaylen Brown's been the best player, or not? Well, yeah, Jaylen Brown has probably been the best player on the Celtics. Like game in, game out. Even though sometimes he starts off hot and then he doesn't like keep it up consistently. This game he was able to keep it up consistently. 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 27 points. I think he had 10 in the first quarter, 17 for the rest of the game. That's pretty good.
Basically, the point is he will get you buckets.
Yeah, it's just not. He might not give you a fair amount of buckets every quarter. He might give you 20 in the first quarter and then give you 0 for the rest of the game. But
when
general,
he's hot.
Right. Jaylen Brown was very, very good this game. Both Tatum and Brown limited their turnovers 2 and 2, which that's what you want to see.
Good.
Marcus Smart was still pretty high on his turnovers. Again, a game where he had an assist to turnover ratio 1-1. But in general, he was playing very well as far as like, taking advantage of mismatches or quote unquote mismatches.
Okay, so go ahead, keep finish up what you're gonna say. I'm gonna add on to that.
They all did a good job of a lot of NBA teams have this strategy of putting Curry on an island, and it typically don't really work because it takes too much time off the shot clock. And then by the time you get it, there's a chance that you don't even score with the matchup you were working the whole possession to get. But this game, they actually did a good job of getting Steph in bad mismatches and taking advantage of them, which is why he had 4 fouls. But go ahead and say what you want to say.
So pretty much whenever Steph Curry was the primary defender, the Celtics were 10 for 14, I think. It was something like that.
He was getting bodied on defense.
Yeah, pretty much. The Celtics strategy is just to force that mismatch with screens. I saw it like 5 times in the same
Right.
possession. Like they set a screen, trying to force Curry to switch, but he just won't
Hmm.
switch.
Hmm.
And like this, the Warriors pretty much they try their hardest to hide him.
Right.
It's only going to get them so far though. But
Right.
then it's also going to drain so much time off the shot clock, which is also a good thing for the Warriors.
Right.
But Curry just again 30. That's it.
Yeah. He played good offensively. And then
Mhm.
defensively he had, 4 fouls, which you don't love to see. Um
Let's talk
Williams
about
had
Draymond
four
last
fouls.
though.
Yeah, well, we can get to him later because we
Yeah.
just flamed him last game. We all got to flame him this game too. Clay Clay had his first good game of the whole series.
Yeah.
Finally, 25 points, 5 for 13 is, it's a little under 40, but you know, when you're Clay, you're allowed to take 13 threes. He made all
Hmm.
his free throws. He had 0 turnovers. He only fouled one time in 40 minutes, 25 points, 7 for 17 shooting. That's his best game by far this whole series.
Hmm.
By far. Um, Steph, you know, average Steph things 12 for 22, 6 for 11 from three, 31 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, three turnovers, 4 fouls. You don't like to see the fouls, of course, that's the big thing. Uh, but the Celtics worked to get those fouls. I think all of them were fouls except for the first one, the one where Jaylen Brown was
That
driving and then they called a foul on it. I didn't think that was a foul, but he would still have
yeah.
3 fouls regardless of if they called that or not. So,
Hmm.
who else on the Warriors deserves some respect? Clay and Steph particularly played well. Jordan Poole played okay. Like he didn't play great. He didn't play bad. He
Yeah.
was just kind of there. Otto Porter played good in the minutes he was given. Gary Payton didn't really play as much this game, which I thought was weird. Uh, Only 6 guys got over 20 minutes, which isn't great. For the Celtics, how many guys got over 20 minutes? I'm actually interested to see that now. For the Celtics, can I see the Celtics
7.
box? 7?
7. Yeah.
Oh, so it was only one more? Dang. Okay.
It was their starting 5: Grant Will and Derek
Derek
White.
White. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair, I guess. I felt like the Celtics had more guys who played, but I guess not. It was one
Yeah.
more guy, but it's not really that big of a
Oh,
difference.
back to the Celtics, bro. Robert Williams had a great block on Curry.
Robert Williams was very, very good in this
That
game.
thing was wild.
The rim protection was there. He had 3 steals,
Hmm.
10 rebounds, 8 points, most of them off lobs. He played very, very well. Honestly, if I had to rank how well everyone played on the Celtics, it'd probably go Brown played the best. No, Tatum played the best. Brown played the second best. Smart played third best, and then
I'm not gonna
Robert
lie.
Williams was like the fourth best player
I'm
last game.
taking Brown over Tatum.
Yeah, Brown. It's
I'm
close.
taking Brown over
It's
Tatum. I
close.
mean, Tatum does have 9 assists, but I'm taking Brown over him.
Brown's offensive rebounding was very clutch. The hustle
Yeah.
he was showing was very, very clutch. So I can see that.
There's
It's really
also
close
this one
between the two.
offensive rebound that just bounced right to him. That was pretty
Right.
nice.
But most of them he like chased out the ball when no one else was really
Yeah.
hustling and he out hustled everyone. So
Hmm.
that's pretty good. Celtics. Derek White again just kind of played okay, I guess. Like he didn't play particularly well. Grant Williams was a very good rebounder, 3 offensive rebounds.
A great defender. Oh my god.
Right, both. Like he was doing a little bit of everything last game. He had 10 points too, but the main thing that stood out to me was the 3 offensive rebounds because they were at clutch times.
Grant Williams is playing like that PJ Tucker type role on the Celtics, like
Essentially,
defending anyone who gets thrown his way.
right,
He'll
hitting
defend
some
them.
threes, hustling.
Hmm.
I like Grant Williams. I think he's a very.
I
I don't
really
think he'll
like him.
ever end up being like a starter level player. I just think he'll always be a very good role player.
He'll be that solid role playing 4.
Right,
That's how I
4,
see him.
3. Honestly, he can
Yeah.
play probably 3 through 5. He might. Honestly, he can play 2 through 5.
Yeah.
I mean, if
Yeah.
you really want to go small ball, because he's
That's a
6'6", but
oh, he is.
he's 6'6", but Draymond is 6'6". So,
Yeah.
I mean, of course, Draymond's 12 times the defender that Grant Williams is, but still,
Yeah.
you could put him at the 5, maybe. Depends on the matchup. But yeah, he played well. Robert Williams played well. Al Horford had
Hmm.
a resurgence game, not as good as game one, but definitely better than the first one. The lob to Robert Williams was insane. Great pass by him.
Hmm.
Uh, he had a lot of plays where he was hustling for rebounds. He also had 3 offensive rebounds. Marcus Smart had 2 offensive rebounds. They had 15 offensive rebounds as a team, which is
What are your thoughts on that loose ball thing? Like that loose ball where Curry got like it tweaked his ankle?
right. It was just a loose ball to me. I mean, I know
Yeah,
people are gonna make it out to seem like the Celtics played dirty. No, the ball is
it's a loose
rolling
ball.
in
Yeah.
game 3 of the NBA finals where you're at home and you have a chance to take a 2-1 lead. I'm
Hmm.
gonna die for the ball, bro.
I'm going for that ball.
That's what
Yeah.
I get paid to do. And then
Each
Draymond,
possession
of
matters.
course, here we go to Draymond. Draymond pushes someone, just straight up pushes someone. That's how I
I
remember
think
it.
he
I don't
pushed
know.
Jalen Brown like for no
Yeah,
reason.
Jalen,
Like
we
bro
just
just got the ball and he was walking to give the ball to the ref. Bro
right,
just gets pushed. Like
right. Draymond is a minute. This was Draymond again, another bad
I think
game
that
for
was a foul
Draymond.
to foul him out.
Yeah, it was. He fouled out because he pushed someone. Draymond played so
Yeah.
bad this game, and it wasn't even like his stats. It was like he lost his temper. I don't know if it was lost his temper, but he wasn't able to like play under control.
Nah, because right when the game finished, bro, he got home, I guess, and then he was on his podcast.
Right. I don't know how he does it. We be missing episodes because we got things to do personally. This man will play a
Yeah.
whole NBA game and then still record the podcast, which is
Hmm.
wild. What are your opinions on the crowd? Because Clay, Draymond, everyone's like, oh well, Celtics were saying F you, Draymond in the crowd. It's no class, but I don't know how you feel about it, but I have a certain way I feel.
I'm not a fan toward heckling players,
Hmm.
but if it is like a dirty play,
Hmm.
Draymond he has that reputation of being a dirty player.
Exactly. He has a
But like,
reputation. Like
yeah, he
if it
has that
was like
reputation.
Steph or Clay, I would have been like, why are you
Yeah,
guys saying this? It's
exactly.
Draymond. Come
It's
on now.
Draymond. Yeah,
Draymond should
like
know.
he should know what's up. He has what he has done,
Yeah.
and yeah,
One person who I thought was really interesting in their comments was Clay. How Clay was like, yeah, Boston, that was there's kids in the stands. That's real classy. Look,
hmm
look. Let me get something off my chest. People cuss. Your kids are gonna hear people cuss, okay? If you go to an NBA game, an NFL game, a baseball game, and you bring your kids, don't be shocked if you hear a couple cuss words. I mean,
because
the whole
people
crowd,
are drunk.
right? The whole crowd chanting it, okay, maybe, but
Yeah,
come on now. Let's not act like you have to give it context. Last game, Draymond was
hmm
like heckling the players and stuff like that. And I imagine all the Celtics fans who were there watched that game and were like, I don't like this guy Draymond. So when he gets
yeah.
there, like, come on, you got to know what's up. You got to
hmm
know, you got to know what's up. It's not like again,
Besides, just to add on that reputation, though, it just makes things worse.
right? Like even when Grayson Allen fouled the Caruso, and then they played in Chicago again, he was getting booed, and that was like
Yeah.
months later. They were still like, we don't
hmm
like this guy. So like, Draymond should have known what to expect. Plus, it's Boston, and we know
Yeah.
Boston sports fans are very
They
passionate
have
about their teams.
they have interesting choices,
Yeah, Boston sports fans are
specifically
interesting.
with Kyrie.
Yeah, even Kyrie.
But
Like,
then, yeah, I don't know. So, what are your thoughts on that Kyrie situation, though?
what exactly happened with Kyrie? I might not be like, were
How
they
he
through the
didn't
water?
resign? No, how he didn't
Oh,
resign with them, and then now they all hate him.
oh,
Like
I
he
think that's
left
kind of
them.
dumb. I think that's kind of dumb. I mean, of course,
I
like
think
if
it's
someone
dumb.
says like, "Oh, I want to be here," you're expecting them to want to be there, but at the same time, NBA players are real people, and things can
Hmm.
happen behind the scenes that are like, "Okay, I don't want to be here anymore," or "I can't be here anymore." Things like that happen. Even for me, I changed high schools this year, and for like the
Yeah,
first 2 years, I was like, "Yeah, I like this school. I'm glad I didn't go to a public school." I got there my junior year. I was like, "Send me to a public school." Things changed. Things happen. So sometimes you just need a switch, and he needed a switch. Now we don't know if he's going to stay in Brooklyn or he's going to leave again, but
so the reason of him wanting to leave Boston was if he got the contract, then he was going to stay because
hmm
he liked Boston.
hmm
But he didn't get the contract, and then people started to hate on him. He declined it. He signed it with the Nets,
hmm
as we know now, and yeah, he's just dealing with that "you left us" type relationship.
right. Also, I don't know why Boston fans are so connected to Kyrie. He was there for 2 years. Like
Yeah.
It's not
Like, it's
that
not like you guys drafted him and he
right.
just left. Like,
It's
what?
not KD. It's not LeBron.
Mhm.
It's Kyrie. He moved there. He was there for a couple years and he left. It's whatever. Like,
Yeah.
no, it would take a lot for me to be like, why did you abandon us? Like the only person I've ever been like that is KD because there's a lot
Mhm.
of context to that. We drafted him and then he goes to the team that we lost to. But
Yeah.
like Kyrie was there for 2 years. Y'all didn't, he had no connection to the team like that. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm sure you guys loved having Kyrie, but it wasn't no big deal. That's probably
Any team would love having Kyrie because
right.
it's Kyrie.
But if there's no reason to get that upset about him leaving this many years after it happened. It's
Yeah.
when was Kyrie last a Celtic? I honestly want to know because I feel like it's been like 4 years now.
2018,
He,
right?
I think that was his last year at Celtic. Or
Yeah, because he was a cover athlete for
yeah, and they
2K. Yeah.
18 and they changed it. He was a Celtic
Yeah.
2018-2019 season. So the last technical year he was a Celtic was 2019, but it's been
Mhm.
3 seasons since he's been on the Celtics. It's time to move on.
And they
Like
still hate him.
he was there for literally 2 years. He played 60. He played less than 70 games in both of those years. Like,
Wow.
let him live. This is interesting. Well,
Martin Luther Irving's on to new things now.
I was almost gonna say Kyrie is low key entering his prime statistically, but no, he's scoring the ball really well, but he's also not
Hmm.
played that many games. He's played 20 games, 2019, 54 last season, and then 30 this season. So it's hard to say.
When he does play, he is efficient though.
Yeah,
I will say that.
extremely efficient.
Like, yeah, like he just isn't. He just doesn't have inefficient games. Well, that he's played in, of course, because
Right.
he plays limited games. But
Extremely efficient, actually.
what is
And for
the
someone
what
who takes
else?
the kinds of shots that Kyrie takes, like the off dribble stuff,
Hmm.
he is, yeah, you are right. He is extremely efficient. I'm looking at his numbers right now, and he is very, very efficient. He's only had 1 year where he shot under 45% from the field,
Oh
and that
my
was his
God.
third year. Only 1 year. And then he's only had, again, 1 year where he shot under, oh, well, no, he's had 1 year where he shot under 35% from the 3-point line.
Hmm.
He shot 32 in 2015, 2016 which is the year before they won the chip. But you know, hey, Kyrie is just that guy. Kyrie is so fun to watch. Kyrie definitely got some of the best like highlights just to
Hmm.
watch. I'll watch Kyrie highlights any day of the week. Kyrie is great. But where
His
were we?
nickname, his new nickname for me, Martin Luther Irving.
Martin Luther Irving. Hey, we'll take it. Martin Luther Kyrie, because then it's MLK.
Yeah.
Uh, you think he's coming back to Brooklyn this year? What do you think? Like, if you had to give it a percentage chance that he leaves and a percentage chance that he stays, what would you say?
Honestly, if he were to play, if he wants to play, that is,
Uh,
he's not staying. He'd
I don't
probably
think
go to a state where he can play, but I don't see him leaving because there's no reason for him to leave.
Yeah, I don't know what he wants to do. I feel like if I had to give it a percentage, I think it's like there's a
Let's say it's like 50. That's
I don't
how
even
I
think
see
it's
it.
I feel like just because it's Kyrie and we've seen him leave multiple times from quote unquote good situations, I think we could see him leave again. So I think I would say sixty
Yeah,
forty,
I can see that. Yeah,
but it's close, really close.
yeah, it's definitely close.
Where would he even go? I'm trying to think. Where would be a good fit for Kyrie?
The Nuggets would appreciate. I'm kidding.
I'm trying to think. I would have to like really think about it because I can't think of a team that would have the money to get him and that would like
Who, honestly,
because the
the
Lakers can't get
Lakers,
him.
I
There's no
guess,
way he can get him.
just restructure LeBron.
Yeah. LeBron, you're a billionaire. Take a pay cut. Take the league minimum.
Yeah,
Let us get Kyrie and Zach LaVine.
I don't know. Okay, so I don't know why LeBron just doesn't do that. I can see why, because of course, it's your money.
Oh, LeBron
He's
could
gonna get
definitely
paid.
take a
Yeah.
pay cut. A little bit of a pay cut. Maybe like
Hmm.
LeBron don't need to make no more money in the league. I mean, of course, I'm sure he wants to.
It's
Like,
nice too. Of course, we all want to be rich. We all have
right.
aspirations. He might want to buy like
He
I
could
don't
take
know a
a
new phone or something.
right. He could take a $10
You know,
million pay cut, I think.
you
I
know
think he'd
about
be
that
fine.
10 million can go toward his gas.
Right.
That
10
gas,
million.
10 million goes a long way, a
Yeah.
really long way.
if he were to take a pay cut, that would do them a lot of wonders because their cap space is
Yeah.
awful. Even if they don't get no superstar, like you don't got to take no $20 million cap
hmm
pay cut, but like 10 mil, that'll free up some cap space for him. Let him do some things. I also wonder. I don't know if Russell Westbrook or if you can restructure a player option, but
hmm
if Russell Westbrook can restructure his deal, that would be great. That would be amazing because that contract is
hmm
awful. I
Awful.
think he's making 50 mil this year. Or like 45. I gotta check. It's a lot.
That's disgusting.
It's a lot.
John Wall's still highest paid, right?
Um I don't know. Let's check. Highest paid players in the league. I think Rudy Gobert is up there
hmm
because he got a
We've
super
been over this, I
max.
think.
We did. I just don't remember right now. We went over this early on in the season for
Yeah.
NBA player salaries. Chris Paul is probably still up there. Okay, so we got first is Steph, second is Harden, third is John Wall, fourth is Westbrook, five is KD, six is Braun, seven is Giannis, eight is Dame, nine Kawhi, 10 Paul George, 11 Clay, which is I'm not gonna lie.
Interesting.
Like if we see like
That's
the if we're
that's an
going
overpay.
yeah, if we're going by the first 15
That's an overpay.
deals, John Wall is a bad contract. I think at this point, James Harden is a bad contract. Russell Westbrook is a bad contract. Um, I think
KD
Paul
is a
is
good contract.
yeah.
I can
Paul
see
George and
that.
Kawhi are fine. Dame is fine. Giannis is for Giannis to be the seventh highest paid player in the league is kind of crazy. But I think that's because
hmm
he just got his extension and it like goes up from
It's
here
gonna
on out.
kick in later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clay, Tobias Harris being top 15 paid players in the league is awful. Um, Clay being 11 is wild. Like especially with how
Jimmy
he's
Butler
playing.
being 12.
I mean, I'm Jimmy Butler's a superstar. I mean, he performs in playoff moments, but you know, I don't know. I'm cool with Jimmy Butler being up there.
Yeah. Like I'm not
Rudy
gonna lie,
Gobert.
Jimmy. If I were to be on a playoff or like if I were to make a playoff team, I'm having Jimmy on that team.
Oh yeah,
'Cause
100%.
he shows up in the playoffs.
He does. I think they
Ben
just
Simmons
need
ranked 20th. I'm disgusted.
terrible contract. Another awful contract. Like top 20 contracts. There's like five or six of these that are bad contracts. Tobias
You're
is
back to
bad.
back MVP. Nikola Jokic is at 27.
Jokic is 27, but he's about to get a new deal, so he should be up next
Yeah.
year. Kevin Love is 28. Wiggins is 26.
Jamal's 33. Tatum's 38. That's wild. Yeah,
You know
that's
what
wild.
play? You know what team we haven't seen up here? The
The Thunder.
Oklahoma City Thunder. We do good with our contracts. Jay has his
No, because you
super
don't have any
max.
contracts.
Yeah, the only big contract we have is Derek Favors. Well, until Shay's
Yeah.
kicks in in a couple weeks. We got to bring back what's his name, Lou Dort though. He's on one of the best contracts in the league. If we're gonna talk about good contracts, he's getting
hmm
like because he was an undrafted free agent, so he got like one of like they
A
can't get
minimum.
paid a max. They get paid like something minimal, but he's been on a great deal this
Yeah.
whole year. So hopefully we pay him. I'm trying to look at some other contracts that I think are interesting. Draymond is 43. Draymond is paid higher than Sabonis, Zach LaVine. Interesting.
Hmm.
Duncan Robinson. He's on that terrible contract. That's another bad contract. Jeez. Yeah. Okay. Let's go back to the finals because that's
Oh
what we're
yeah.
supposed to be on anyway.
Finals.
Who are your top five finals MVPs for the Celtics? And then who are your top five for the Warriors?
Celtics give me Brown in order.
Okay. Starting from
Brown
one or starting from
and
five?
Tatum at 2. Starting from 1.
Mhm.
Okay. Brown, Tatum, Smart, White, Will. Robert Williams.
Okay. I think I would go Brown, Tatum, Smart, Williams. No. Horford, Williams for the Celtics. It's hard for me
Okay.
to put Derek
I
White
can
just
see
because his
that, yeah.
numbers wouldn't look good enough. I mean, like if you watch him, he's
Yeah.
been very, very good for them and like a top five player this series for them. But for Finals
His
MVP,
stats don't show up in the stat sheet.
I don't think there's any way Derek White wins Finals MVP unless he did
Yeah.
something wild and like the game-winning series. He had like 60. There's no way.
Realistically, he isn't going to win it. But I
Like
personally
most
think he should
valuable
have a chance.
player,
Yeah.
most valuable player for this team. He's definitely top five. Like I think I would
Mhm.
put him over Al Horford maybe,
Hmm.
because he's been a little more consistent in my opinion. But who you got for Golden State?
Golden State, this should be unanimous. Curry won.
Yeah, it's Curry, and then there's like a high drop off from
It's
whoever's next.
yeah.
I think it's
I
like
don't know. How many tie?
Looney,
I can see Looney. I think Wiggins should be up there too.
Curry,
Because
Wiggins, Looney.
Wiggins gets it done defensively.
Yeah. Uh, Draymond or Clay. Up to this
Draymond, I
point, I can't put
guess.
them there. Like they just have to by default.
Yeah.
Draymond and then what? Poole?
Honestly,
No,
Poole
Poole
at
and then Draymond.
5.
I
Poole
think I
and then
put.
Draymond.
Yeah, it's
Got
tough though.
Clay up there.
Clay should be up there, but he just hasn't been consistent
Yeah.
enough to, be up there. I'm checking the ESPN NBA. Let's talk about game 4 because that's tomorrow.
Okay.
How you feeling?
Oh, whoa, hold on. Let's talk about game 3 still. Yeah, I need to say something about game 3.
Go ahead.
Bro, you mentioned this earlier, like pre-series. Third quarter Warriors is a different breed. They make adjustments.
Yeah, they're cheating. They have to be cheating.
Yeah.
There's no way this team is this consistently good in the third quarter. It's wild to me.
Yeah.
It's wild.
And then
to
they
me.
just fell off in the fourth.
Right. That was the craziest shift in momentum I think I've
Yeah.
seen since game 1. That was wild. There's some things that happened in the NBA that just completely skipped my mind. The Lakers hired a new coach. Now, I don't really like to talk about the Lakers too much, but they got Darwin Ham is his name. Dude has some wild NBA highlights. He's a former player. He said, I didn't watch his press conference, but from what I've heard and like the quotes that people are putting up, it seems like he wants to make things work with Westbrook, things like that. I think there's a way you could do it. You just gotta have the right personnel around him. But yeah, I don't know too much about him. He's the Bucks assistant coach, so it's always great to get a guy who's, from a winning organization of the time come coach you. Hopefully he's good.
I don't know much about him because I didn't see that.
Yeah, the Jazz coach stepped down. Quinn Snyder, good. I don't know if step down means he actually was like, I don't want to coach, or they fired him behind the scenes and they were like, you could step down if you want, so you don't have to publicly get fired. But he needs to be gone. Let's see. I'm trying to think. What's your opinion on this? How do you feel about like all of these NBA players going on like ESPN and stuff? I think it's really cool.
I think it's fun.
Yeah,
I like that.
We've seen what?
Okay, I don't hate him. I dislike him. Stephen A. Smith.
I dislike all
Skip
of them.
Bayless.
All of them.
I dislike all of them. They get paid for dumb takes.
Right.
They don't get the right message out. They're making people get the wrong narrative. They're forcing things. They hate the players. Like, at least players will be unbiased. They may be biased if it's their guy, but at least they won't be like, they won't censor it.
Yeah, they're gonna say how it is. Yeah, I don't like Skip Bayless is bad. Skip Bayless is really bad. Stephen A. Smith in the last few years has honestly, like for the last 2017. Post KD leaving the Thunder, he's been bad. Shannon Sharp is funny, but he doesn't have good takes.
They're all just funny and they don't have, in my opinion, good takes.
They have bad takes. I don't even think that you have to say, in my opinion, they're bad takes. And the whole point of like the content they make is just to get a reaction out of people. And I'm sick.
It's just to get more clicks. And I'm tired of it.
I'm genuinely just tired of it. I'm glad that, I think this is a general thing, at least for me. I don't have cable. Do you have cable?
No.
Yeah. Like I stopped having cable in like 8th grade, 7th grade.
I
think a lot of people
in like elementary school.
Oh, okay. So you've been without cable for a bit.
Yeah.
But I think
so
in
like
general,
6th grade, when Netflix came to the uprising, that's when we switched over.
Okay, yeah, because I think now in general, a lot of people are leaving cable. So a lot of like ESPN, the things they
need the clicks,
right? Like on YouTube and things like that. When they have a thumbnail that says Stephen A. Smith says DeMontis Sabonis is better than prime Michael Jordan, like they need those clicks or something. Which, I get it because they they need profit, and the root of everything is
Yeah.
profit. They need to make money through
hmm
clicks, but this kind of hurts
It hurts the sport, I
the
guess. Like
sport
sports
and like
media.
yeah, sports media in general. I would say the NFL is better than the NBA. I would say they're
Yeah,
much better, honestly.
they're much better.
They're
No, because
much better.
baseball is way better.
I don't even keep up
Baseball's
with baseball, but
analytics. Okay. So baseball's analytics, they're like the people who talk, they all
you know,
understand what they're talking about. They know
mhm,
what's happening. They don't care if it's like
mhm,
for clicks.
mhm.
They get the right message out.
Here's the thing though, because now that I'm thinking about it, when we said like football is better, if you talk like NBA, that like if it's not ESPN or like Fox Sports or like the big networks, if we're
Mhm.
talking about like NBA, their media amongst like NBA people who work for the NBA TV, things like that, they're good. Like there's a lot
Yeah.
of very talented people who work for the NBA and
hmm
like their stuff. But as far as mainstream sports media, it's bad. Same thing with the NFL because Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharp, they all also do football
They all
too.
cover football. Yeah.
But when I think of like football, like analytics, I think of like the show Good Morning Football on NFL Network is really
Yeah.
good. You know, that's the main one I can think of because I used to have
I
NFL
think
Network when
of
I had cable. Uh,
okay, this isn't like an official NFL thing. I think of
mhm.
like the Stay Hot podcast. I
Stay
mentioned
Hot
this
is
earlier.
good. You know,
Yeah.
we talk about this all the time, all the good like
Yeah.
podcasts that are out, but really podcasts are running it right now. As far as sports
hmm
media, podcasts and YouTube
TikTok.
completely taking it over.
The old head guy.
OG is
OG.
solid. He
Yeah.
be having some great takes. They need to get
hmm
him on ESPN. I think honestly, I don't know. It's partially the fault of the media for doing it, but
Yeah.
if fans wouldn't like, it's this thing like people feel like if they agree with something, why watch it?
Yeah.
But sometimes, you know, I like to watch things that I agree with. I also like to watch things that I disagree with.
hmm
Um, but if it's obviously something that someone's just going out of their way to make something obviously make someone like upset, then I'm not gonna watch it. But if someone's like, I'm trying to think of like a
If there's
fair take,
logic behind it,
right? Like
I can watch that.
if someone were to say if there was a video where someone was like Daniel Jones should be off the Giants next season, I'd watch it because I'd be like, you know, I could see that. It makes
hmm
sense. But if someone was like, Daniel Jones is the worst quarterback in the league and the Giants should have never drafted him, I'm not sure about that, bro.
Yeah.
You're doing a little too much. You're making it to the point where you're just going for reaction. So
You're
that's
reaching. Yeah.
reaching. Clickbait is huge now though, and it's everywhere. Clickbait on like Instagram and stuff like that, fake
hmm
news, things like that. It's also annoying. YouTube is probably the main thing. There, I mean, I don't know if it just doesn't show up on my feed because I watch a very select few sports YouTubers and I know they're all credible. But when
hmm
I first got into it, the clickbait was wild.
Oh yeah.
Clickbait was wild. Uh, but yeah, it's annoying. Like I just don't like it. I don't even know how we got to this, but I don't like it. I'm glad
I
that we
don't
have
like it at all.
NBA players, you know,
I'm glad we're getting athletes into the box.
right? Because we need more former athletes in the box.
Drew
Uh,
Reason is an example of that.
Tom
Tom Brady signed a
Brady,
contract.
I'm
Tony
trying to think.
Romo was the
Tony
first, I
Romo,
believe. He was the
yeah.
first.
Tony Romo. Well, I mean, you got Troy Aikman,
Oh yeah.
but you know, that's a while back. Troy Aikman
hmm
played way before even mom. Troy Aikman got drafted before my mom was born. I'm pretty sure.
Oh
Um,
wow.
I'm trying to think of other form. Oh, Joe Madden was a coach, but you know, rest in peace, Joe Madden. But John Madden, not Joe
hmm
Madden. John
John Madden.
Madden. Rest in peace, John Madden.
Joe Madden's the Angels coach.
Yeah.
He was.
Oh, yeah. Then he
Oh, I
just
just
get
realized two of my team's yeah, two of my team's coaches got fired.
wild, wild. No consistency. I'm trying to think of other former players. You know, you got CJ. I wouldn't say Pat Bev. I mean, he keeps
He's
it
on
real.
podcast. He's on podcast.
Draymond, his podcast. I haven't watched too much of it, but he seems credible. Seems
Ocho's podcast seems credible.
LeBron. I don't think LeBron has a podcast. He's just always on that
Oh,
one
he
show.
said
He
he
wants to start
asked
one.
if he were to start one. Yeah, I saw like this one. It's like the first page.
Yeah,
Like
it'd be
if he were to
good.
watch it, what would it be called? Or not?
The
What? Not if
podcast.
you were to make it. Yeah, There's always that
Le, Le podcast, like the just a kid from Akron. Like, there's so many things I want to call it. I will
Yeah,
watch a LeBron podcast easily,
for sure.
easily. I'm trying to think of other like player ran podcasts that I think are good. Um, Oh, JJ
Can't think of
Redick.
anyone.
JJ Redick's podcast is
Oh
great.
yeah, Old Man in the Three.
Old Man in the Three is great. Yeah, but that's as much for players. That's where I'm at. I hope we get some more. I don't know if I'm
Yeah.
just not keeping up with NFL players, but I want to see some NFL players start a podcast. I don't know if their schedule will allow it because their schedule seems a lot more, tough than an
It's
NBA
very
player.
compact.
Yeah, but I'd like to see some NFL players make podcasts while they're playing. It'd be kind of cool. But yeah, that's all I'm at for NBA.
I think we should get more mic'd up content. That would be nice.
Yeah,
Like
and
that
more
practice,
different
just mic'd up.
players
Yeah.
because they use the same guys for mic'd up. It's kind of. I want
Oh,
to see them.
speaking of football, where are the Rams getting all this money?
I have no clue. Let's move on to that. Okay, so I think last podcast we talked about Aaron Donald. And he was like, "Okay, I'm okay with retiring if I don't get the money I
Yeah.
want."
He
He
got
got
that
his
money.
money. He got his bread. I want to see the new
Yeah.
contract exactly.
It's like 3
Year 95.
years. Yeah, 3 years, 95, 75 guaranteed.
Yeah. How are they getting this cap space? I don't know. No clue.
And then Cooper Cup just re-signed for 5 years,
110.
110. Yeah.
So Aaron Donald, 3-year, 95 million. I'm trying to see contract details. So next year, oh wow. Okay, his contract doesn't kick until next year. Or am I reading this wrong? I'm trying to see. It says his base salary is $1 million, which doesn't sound right at all.
Is it backloaded?
No. Oh, okay. Yearly cash. I don't know. This seems very, very confusing. The 3-year, 95 million, $25 million signing bonus, $31 million average salary. He makes 31 million this year, 28 next year. Then he makes 35 in 2024. I think that's how it is. But
Yeah, it's backloaded.
so, that's a nice little deal if you ask me. He definitely deserves it. He'll be 33 by the time his contract expires. I think that's a good time to get out. Or like not get out. Like, of course, if he's still good, pay him again. But that's a good time to reevaluate.
It's a good contract for both teams.
Right.
For both sides.
Reevaluate. He gets his money, and then by the time it expires, he'll be 33. You'll see if he's still, he should still be Aaron Donald, but never know.
He's considering retirement now. Like,
I think he's considering retirement now just because he feels like he has nothing left to prove. Not because he's not like capable, but like if in 2-3 years you start to see the body, kick in, age, then at least you only have it for the next 2 years and you'll be able to get out at a good time.
Something, yeah.
Then you got Cooper Cup. I also want to check his out because he got bad. Deserved again. They're paying the right guys. It's not like these guys
well
don't
deserved.
Deserve. Definitely like best. I don't know if he's the best receiver. I think he's the best receiver in the league. If you
just won the triple crown,
right? If you win the triple crown, you're the best receiver in the league. I'm sorry. Super Cup.
Super's up.
Super
what?
Cooper Cup contract. Let's see. Great story. I'm happy for him because
oh yeah.
I don't know. I can't completely remember his story, but it's like
went from D1.
He wasn't playing
D1 school.
Yeah, or like small D1, and then what's it called? His wife now.
Girlfriend at the time was working like 2 jobs, I think.
Just
so he could just focus on
football. She's solid. We all need one of her in our lives. His birthday was actually yesterday.
Oh,
happy birthday, Cooper Cup! If you're watching this, get on the pod.
We should have mentioned this earlier, like last month. Taylor Rapp is one of the first Asians to start in the Super Bowl.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because last month was Asian and Pacific Islander month. So he was like the first Korean, I think, native, or not native, but like he was Asian. And he started in the Super Bowl. And basically, he has a nice little story too. Like he had no offers until like his senior year of high school. And then he went to Washington, which is his hometown. And then he eventually got drafted in the first round, I think.
Yeah,
I think it was a first round.
it's
And then
impossible to
yeah,
not root for guys who have good stories.
and then he just proposed to his girlfriend on Super Bowl. Yeah, after the Super Bowl.
Great
And then
guy.
they got married.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of other guys who have great stories. I mean, LeBron's got a great story.
Hmm.
It's
Odell had a baby.
Odell did just have a baby. Not just. It's been like a couple weeks, but he had a
It's been a
baby.
couple months, I think.
Oh, let's talk about some of the. Ryan Fitzpatrick's gone. It's
Oh
over.
yeah.
I'm I'm a little sad.
If
Fitz
you were to choose
Magic
a player to come back from retirement, like they just recover, like whatever the issue was,
all
who would it
time.
be? All time.
Um, Calvin Johnson. I just wish I would have got to see him a
Yeah.
little more because right when I got into football, he just retired and he was still
Hmm.
young. I wish
Yeah.
Calvin Johnson would have played a little longer. I'm trying to think who else.
I got Keekly.
Kuechly, I would like to see a few more
This
years
one's just for
from.
the memes, but Fitzpatrick so he can play on every team.
Right, he's got to do it. Like
Yeah. He's already halfway there. Like what?
they might, yo. I don't think anyone would have did this, but they could have had him sign a 1 year contract with like every team for like the next couple weeks. That would have been kind of funny.
Hmm.
Jamal Charles retired.
Jamal Charles. I think he's just a free agent.
Jamal Charles was that guy.
Todd Gurley.
Oh well, he's still on. He's a free agent
He's a
right now.
free agent. Yeah, Todd
If
Gurley's
we
a
would have
free
got some more
agent.
prime Todd Gurley, I would have liked that.
Yeah.
Jamal Charles was that guy. I'm trying to think of another guy who I would miss. Trying to think. Dang, I hit a blank. Oh, I miss Victor Cruz a bit. If I'm thinking Giants, I
Mhm.
miss a little bit of Victor Cruz. Some Eli Manning would wish to see a little bit more of his prime. Trying to think of some other guys. Oh, Andrew Luck. I wish he wouldn't have
Oh
retired so
yeah,
early.
Andrew Luck for
I
sure.
liked watching Andrew Luck. He was a quarterback I really enjoyed watching. Uh, I'm looking at Jamal Charles stats. Prime Jamal Charles was a beast from like 2009 to 2014, 1,000+ yards every year. A couple years where he was over 1,400. You know, dude was a
Wow.
dude was a beast.
Wow.
Yeah. Trying to think of some other retired guys who I'd like to watch again. That's a great question, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Because there's a few people for sure.
Oh,
Like, there's no one definite answer.
is Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie still? Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie retired. He was a corner for the Giants who I really liked.
Mm-hmm. I can't think of anyone for the Raiders.
I mean, Bo
They're on
Jackson is
jail.
before your time, but like Bo
They're on
Jackson is
jail.
probably
Yeah.
Dominique
Hmm.
Rodgers-Cromartie is someone I miss. Oh, he was on the Raiders.
Hmm.
Uh,
Not know that.
Trying to think of some other guys. He's barely. I don't even think Gronk is retired, but Gronk, come back, stay, please. We need
What's
you.
that linebacker on the Niners?
Linebacker on the Niners.
Like Patrick Willis.
Patrick Willis.
He retired early. Shazier.
Shazier. Oh yeah, Shazier.
That's just unfortunate.
So unfortunate. He would have still been good now, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
trying to think of some other guys. Dang.
I'm not gonna lie. Richard Sherman. I know.
He's still in the league, but like
yeah.
prime Richard Sherman, I miss.
I wish that. Yeah, I missed that.
What about
prime
NBA?
Richard
Who are some
Sherman.
like players who are you're like?
Michael Jeff. I'm kidding.
What do you know about Michael
Um,
Carter, Michael Kidd Gilchrist?
hmm.
Mine is John Wall. John Wall is my big one. Who I'm like, I miss
Well,
John Wall.
yeah, I like that.
John Wall is another guy who has amazing highlights who I could watch
Hmm.
all the time. Prime Boogie, Marcus Cousins, miss him.
James Harden.
Rockets James Harden was very electric player, even though that's not
something
too
else.
far ago, not too long ago. I miss
Hold
Rockets
on,
James
I'm
Harden.
gonna mute my mic. Where's my
Go ahead.
mic?
I'm trying to think of some other guys who I really enjoyed watching. Dang. Prime D Rose. I think everyone misses Prime D Rose. Trying to think of another guy. JR, because JR Smith. Who don't love JR Smith? It's JR. Come on now, Big JR. I think he just graduated. He was like,
He just graduated out of A&M.
and he
He also
just got
played
like,
golf, Scholar Athlete of the Year. He's
yeah,
that
he
guy. He
just
had a
got that.
4.0.
Hey, go
Yeah, I
JR.
don't know what was flying. It sounded like a rocket ship was taking off. I don't know.
I couldn't even hear it.
Oh, I
Yeah,
muted my mic anyways because
yeah.
I didn't want to chance it.
I just miss a lot of guys, but in general,
Yeah.
I think the NFL and the NBA, and I don't know if this is true for the MLB. You could speak to this, but I think all of our sports are in great hands.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We've been fortunate to live in like the best time for sports, and I was
Mm-hmm.
just thinking about this.
Because we're in that middle ground of the transition.
Right, like we for every sport though, like literally
Yeah.
every sport. Even
We're
I don't,
witnessing greatness. LeBron, Curry,
Steph.
yeah.
If you were watching basketball for a bit, you got to see some Kobe,
LeBron, Steph, KD, Kobe. For
uh,
football, we got
Giannis.
Brady.
We got the GOAT, Brady.
Yeah.
We got a bit of
Brady.
Manning. We got Breeze.
Some luck.
We got a little bit of luck. Some Matt Ryan. Matt Stafford. Not just
Julio, he
for
was an issue.
Julio, Calvin Johnson for a little bit, Antonio Gates for a bit, Travis Kelce. Trying to think of some running backs
Let's
too.
not count Kelsey yet. I mean, I guess yes,
Kelce,
but like
one of the.
he's more of the future. I think I would consider him the future.
He's like weird because he's not like one of the
Yeah.
best in the past, but he's also like a little older, so he's not going to be in the league for too much longer. But like
Yeah.
Melvin Gordon, I mean Melvin Gordon wasn't amazing, but prime Melvin Gordon was cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of some other guys who we got to watch. Oh, for soccer, I don't think you're that big of a soccer fan, but we got to see both Messi and Ronaldo, which is pretty wild to think about because they're arguably the greatest soccer players. To a lot of people, they're the greatest soccer players of all time.
It's really just 1A, 1B for them.
Yeah.
That's all that I know, at least.
Baseball, we got Trout.
For baseball, we got Trout. Speaking of which, I'm wearing a Trout shirt right now.
Yeah.
But
like we just got to see a lot of
CC
great
Sabathia.
athletes.
We got
Isn't Mookie Betts like
Albert Pujols? Mookie is still, he's like that middle ground. He's the same age as Trout-ish.
Okay.
He's like 27. Like he's young.
Clayton Kershaw.
Goldschmidt. Or not Goldschmidt. Who's Goldschmidt? Oh my god. Like Paul Gold, is it Goldschmidt?
Clayton Kershaw or not?
Kershaw, yes.
Okay.
Judge. Madison Bumgarner. Judge, he's that future. Posey. Yadier Molina.
Mm-hmm.
There's a list. The list goes on. And then the future, don't even get me started on that because that's also another list.
I don't even keep up with baseball, but I know some guys. Like Shohei gets a lot of press.
He gets a lot of internet attention.
Tatis.
Jazz Chisholm. I'm sure you've heard of him, or at least
I've heard his name before.
Seen something about him.
There's this guy on Acuna Jr. on the Braves.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's nice.
Soto from the Nationals.
Yeah.
You know Harper.
Yeah, Bryce Harper. I know Bryce Harper. I got to start watching some baseball. I want to get into it. It's just like, I don't know if it's just me. It's hard to get into baseball if you weren't always into baseball to me.
Yeah. So
like if you weren't,
in my opinion, it's hard to just get into it because like I've been watching it since forever. And
so you're
grew
just
up
used to
watching
it.
Yeah.
You're going to have to give me an introduction because I also don't want to be a Padres fan. I feel like that's basic and boring. I mean, I feel like I'm obligated to be a Padres fan because I live in San Diego. I want to find my own team that I can root for. That's just me.
When the Angels were a poverty franchise, we're on a 14-game losing streak.
What's the worst team in baseball? So we can keep the poverty franchise podcast team going.
Shoot, probably.
I think it's the Cincinnati Reds, and I don't even keep up with baseball. I think the Reds are the worst. The Angels are on a terrible winning or losing streak. I've heard. It's like 12 games.
12. Might be 13 tonight because we're playing the Red
Yankees
Sox.
Are 40-16.
Yeah. The Angels are actually up right now. Oh my god.
There are games still going on right
now? Games just started. Well, just started. They started like 2 hours ago.
Oh, okay. But baseball games are long. Worst team in baseball is between the Reds and the Nationals. Is Bryce Harper not on the Nats anymore? Oh, no. It's the Kansas City Royals.
Yeah. I was going to say them, but I wasn't sure.
18 wins.
They have a rookie who's pretty solid on that team.
Are there any? Well, tomorrow's game. What's it called? Tomorrow's game 4. Yeah.
4.
I was gonna say I'll watch a baseball game tomorrow and get back to you guys on it on Saturday, but nah, I'm gonna be watching
Mhm.
Game 4 of the finals. Don't get it twisted. Uh, I can't really think of anything else I wanted to talk about. I was really big on the
That's all I
finals.
gotta say.
Uh, we really just rambled on a bunch of random sports topics, which is always fun. But
Yeah.
I don't know if I should announce this yet or not because it's still kind of up in the air. We might have a new person coming onto the podcast during the summer,
We
maybe.
should. We might.
I've talked to him a couple days ago. He said he doesn't know yet, so we'll find
I'll
out.
talk
But
to him tomorrow.
well, it's in the works. We might have an
Yeah.
extra poverty franchise fan, even though he's not really a poverty franchise fan
He's
for
not a poverty
basketball.
franchise fan.
He's a Raider fan though,
Yeah.
and then a Padre fan, huh?
I think yeah, he is. Well,
So,
he likes a few teams. I think he's an Angel fan actually. I don't know.
oh, he's
He
just
never
you
really
times
told me
two
his
for a different
you never
basketball
really
team.
told me his
Favorite baseball team?
favorite baseball team. Because he
Yeah,
likes players. Bro
it'd be
might be
like
a
that
Dodgers
though.
fan for all I know.
It'd be like, uh, yeah, nah. I don't know what his favorite baseball team is. I just know he's a Raider and then a Sixers fan.
A
But
Sixers fan.
yeah, we might have a new member of the podcast. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think that concludes the things I
Episode
wanted
10.
to talk about. Oh, I should probably mention this. I have a personal account or like a personal YouTube
Oh yeah.
called K
KTS.
KTS. I just posted
It's
my first
short for
video on it.
Khalil Talk Sports.
Yeah. And then the email on it is kill the Steelers. It stands for a good amount of things. But yeah, you guys should definitely check out the personal YouTube channel. I'm still trying to figure out how I want the videos to be formatted. The first video is low-key just a rant of game two because I knew we weren't going to be able to talk about it too soon.
Mhm.
So I just kind of gave my thoughts, and you'll probably get a more detailed thought process on it in that game because it was right after it concluded. But yeah, that's one thing I want to announce. You know, this is one of the last episodes as juniors. Let's talk about that actually before we conclude. How you feeling, bro? Knowing that you're a
Bro,
senior,
it
it's
felt
kind
like
of
freshman
wild,
year was last year.
right? That's what I'm saying. For us at least,
Yeah.
wild this experience of going from
It feels like I'm a sophomore right now.
right
Like
wild
it doesn't feel right at all.
because we missed 1.5 years of high school of like
Yeah.
actual high school, which is kind of wild. So now we're going into our last year, kind of crazy. Got no
It's
sophomore
wild.
year. Like if we're being real, if we're going based off of like time that we spent actually at school, this is like the beginning. We should be at the beginning of our junior year as far as
Yeah.
time I've spent at school because we got half of freshman year, then we missed it, then we got no sophomore year, so we're
No
like 1 year
sophomore.
into. We got 1.5 years. No, if we're 1.5 years in, that means we're like halfway through sophomore year right now.
Yeah.
As far as time we've spent at high school, and we're done with our junior year. Crazy to think
Wild.
about. Crazy to think about. Gonna be seniors next year. Wild. Class of 2023 on top. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, let's go back to the outro.
That's all I gotta say.
This
Thank you for making it this far. If you've made it this far,
Yeah,
check
definitely.
out Khalil's personal KTS, and that should
We'll be back
conclude episode
Saturday.
10. Tune in on Saturday.
Yep. All right. Talk to y'all later.